It is Krasm. I actually replaced the timing belt on my friend's Saturn 2003 View. I do have a water pump video, and after doing that, I actually came across a video by In the Fast Lane that goes about changing the belt on a L50 or L81 CTS Cadillac engine, which is very similar to the Saturn View engine. The thing is, there's a couple things that he did that are a little bit different because Gates no longer makes the eccentric pulley right here, this round pulley. They make only eccentric pulleys now. So when you replace this eccentric pulley that's to the right of your water pump, you're going to have to watch out. The arrow, you're going to want the arrow to be right around the 7 o'clock position, so it's pushing the belt so you have less than a fourth of an inch of deflection. You're actually supposed to use a belt tension device. I don't have one, so I just went based off of what the width of this was, adjusted it so the width was the same by using a pair of calipers, and then once it measured up, I put it back together. Another thing to do, I used a cheap knockoff OTC 6687 kit. This isn't even a OTC kit. This is by 7 Mile or 8 Mile off of Amazon. It works, but you can see by the tip that it's really tight fit. Tolerances are definitely a lot more specific with this kit. The kit works, it's cheap, so you get what you pay for. With the green side, the long piece is going to go on the bottom, and with the red side, the long piece is going to go on the top, just like with the OTC kit, but it's a plastic coated piece of aluminum instead of just a laser etched aluminum or whatever that red coloring is. Another thing to look out for is when you're doing your timing, make certain that you have clips in case for some reason you need to adjust one of these concentric pulleys or eccentric pulleys. You'll just put the clips right here. You can use binder clips, you can use teeny tiny wood clips. I use both. I just kept them on all my cams so that if I had to undo this pulley or this tensioner or this pulley, that my belt wouldn't slip after I made certain I had proper time. Make certain you remove these when you're done. That way you don't throw them throughout the engine and tear up your belt. Another thing to look out for is just make certain you rotate your engine a couple times. When you rotate the engine and everything lines up and you use your jig to make certain it's lined up, you can be pretty confident you did the job right. These all line up and the crank goes at the 180-degree mark, arrow pointing, or not arrow, line pointing down. Just take it slow. It should only be a couple-hour job if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, it could be an 8 to 16-hour job. Just be careful that you're using the right spacer for your concentric pulley. It's got to be the thinner spacer. The eccentric pulley, the one that you have to use the 30mm offset wrench, is going to be a thicker spacer. Without that spacer, you're going to tear up the top of the belt. You'll know that's happening if you start your engine and you watch the belt move. You can mark your eccentric pulley and it should spin. If it's not spinning, then it's rubbing up against the back of your engine. You can do the same thing for the other pulleys. It also won't spin if you're turning it by hand, so it should be very obvious if you mark it, turn it by hand, it doesn't move, you used the wrong spacer. I learned this the hard way. So hopefully nobody else makes that same mistake. I didn't read in any instructions. I'm sure it's somewhere. It's just where I've checked Saturn forums, I've checked YouTube. Nobody really talks about it, so that's why I'm putting a video out there about it. Hopefully it helps somebody not destroy their engine and keep their timing belt lasting. And thanks for your time, and go out there and get something done.